Hello everyone, this is Hannibal of Carthage, bringing you another multiplayer battle for Rome Total War. This time, I played as Germania, and my opponent, he played as Thrace. So before I show off the armies, I just want to point out the map. So I really actually kind of like this map. It's like you're on top of a mountain, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. It's a map that came with a mod I got for the game. It's the same mod that changes the Spartans to the updated skin, and it added a whole bunch of maps that I had been kind of experimenting with and still am. But this is one of my more favorite maps. It's just, I don't know, it's really cool to me. I'll probably put a link in the description for the mod I use just in case you guys want to see it. But anyways, let's get on with the battle. So, my army consists of 6 of these spear warband. They're my main infantry line. I mean, they're kind of unrealistic as no barbarian tribes ever would have used the phalanx formation. They weren't that organized when they fought. They preferred to just rush down onto their enemy. But I mean, when it comes to the game though, I mean these units are okay. I wouldn't try to like match them up against any royal pikemen from Macedon or Spartans for Greece. They would not stand up against them because I mean they are barbarian units. So, but for barbarian units, they're pretty decent units. I don't think I'd ever tried Germania out in a multiplayer battle before this one, so it's just kind of a new experience for me. But behind my infantry line, I have 2 chosen archer warbands. I usually bring more archers than this, but it was a low money battle, so that's why I only have 2 of them. And then behind them, I have 3 of these barbarian noble cav. And they're actually pretty decent heavy cav. I mean, they're not the best, but I'm actually kind of surprised sometimes when I fight against them and they come out of, like, they win a battle that I don't expect them to when it comes to like a cavalry battle. But and then hidden inside the cav, I have 2 units of these berserkers. They're kind of like my secret weapon for this battle. But I mean, it's probably pretty obvious where they are. I just kind of wanted to mask how many I had, just in case you didn't look too closely. And they're only light infantry, but when they become enraged, or that's when they become like super powerful and really hard to kill. But anyways, my opponent here, he has 8 of these phalanx pikemen, which means he heavily outnumbers me because each of his units probably has, let's see here, yeah, each of his units basically has 40 more men in it than my infantry does. And well, maybe not. Well, no, I guess not. These guys have 121, so do they. So I guess not, but because these also just have, well, these guys have 120, but he has 2 more infantry units than I do, so, and I believe his guys are, because they're actually supposed to be phalanx troops, they will have a higher attack than my spear warband. But I don't believe, because it was a low money battle, he chose to bring more troops and not upgrade them, where I chose to bring less infantry, but I did upgrade mine, so mine are better than his in this battle, as you'll see. But what he did do is he brought 4 units of these Vistarnae, and these are actually these are really cool barbarian units. They're probably my second favorite to Naked Fanatics. But he brought, like I said, he brought 4 of these, and he has 2 on each flank. But they have really low defense, but a very high attack, and so they will just. I mean, you don't want to throw them directly into like in front of a pike unit, but any sort of hand-to-hand melee, these guys will just trash most units. You know, Roman units like Praetorians or Urbans probably could stand up to them, but anything lower than that, and these guys will do serious damage, even if they do lose. And anyways, so those guys are going to be some serious kind of punching power in this battle for him. And then behind them, he has 4 units of archers. Thrace is kind of a mixture of like Greek civilization, and with a mix of like barbarian units. So I haven't had much experience with it, but it seems to be a pretty decent faction actually. Behind his archers, he has one unit of General's Armored Bodyguard. This kind of shows the true mix of Thrace because you have a Greek-style general with Barbarian cav protecting him. So, anyways, let's get on with the battle. So, in the very beginning here, we're just kind of looking at each other's armies, but we're gonna move here in just a moment. Meantime, though, kind of want to just mention these Trojan Archer warbands. They, I mean, they're decent archers. They're, you know, for most barbarian units, are weaker than others, but, I mean, Trojan Archer warbands, they're alright, but they are kind of a little expensive for the kind of damage they do, which is why I was only able to bring 2 of them, but I wanted to bring archers, and they were my only option for Germania, so. So we're moving forward here now. Not totally sure what happened here, but these guys decided to move from their position on the left into the middle, so it's kind of confusing. But if he had rushed his guys forward, that could have spelled serious doom for me because, you know, a hole right in the middle of my lines, he could just split my army in 2. So I rushed them forward. My archer warbands are now starting to fire. Yeah, they're shooting into his phalanx line. What they should be doing is shooting his archers, and a couple shots have gotten him, but I think I'm having them focus on his phalanx right now. So I brought my cav. I outnumbered him in cavalry because all he brought is General's Bodyguard. He's relying more on his infantry, so I brought my 3 cav units over to my right flank, and so he's going to deploy 2 units of phalanx pikemen over there to help guard his flank, which is smart because you don't want to stay in cavalry straight into pikes. But I do have the mobility here, and he will not be able to keep up with them. I can just kind of run them around, but it is smart here. But then that does leave a giant hole here. It is kind of protected by his Bastarne. What he should have done here is he must have seen me moving in on these guys, but instead of bringing these guys back to face them, he just lets me attack his flank, and so these guys are taking no casualties and just tearing through this unit. So he's going to run his Bastarne forward here. In the meantime, I have engaged his infantry line, mine, and I am getting, I mean, he got in the first hits because his pikes are longer than mine, but I am definitely doing more damage than he is because my men are upgraded. So on this flank, I meant to show you guys, but I sent my berserkers forward, and they just tore through these Bastarne, just utterly destroyed them. But on this flank, I had nothing to guard against these Bastarne, and so they're gonna run straight into the back of these units, and these guys are gonna do a decent job of holding up, but in the end, they're just gonna get destroyed. Not really sure what I have my archers doing.
Your warlord's bowels have
I think they're just shooting at whatever.
He runs from the fight. Better that he die than live.
You know, I might decide to film that section where the berserkers charge in. So if you see, if that does end up in the video, it's because I went back and filmed it just because it's such an awesome section.
Your general is in his grave. It would have been better to
So
send
his
the enemy to their
Vistani killed my
ancestors.
general, and but in the meantime I'm taking care of his archers with my cav, and he's trying to chase after them with his bodyguard, but I'm not too worried about them. And then I charged into these Vistanis because there were so few of them. Now, so he's destroyed my left flank, but I've destroyed his right flank. And because my Berserkers, they are gonna kind of get caught up on some pikes here. Specifically, I think this unit. Or perhaps this one, but in the end, see, they're just gonna, they did a great job. So, okay, so
You have killed the enemy general. Now his men show fear.
So
They may turn and run. Attack! Attack!
okay, now that guy's done talking, I killed his general over here. I mean, he does have some archers left over here, but I'm gonna take care of them now with. Okay, so we destroyed both these units over here, and my Berserkers, they get caught up on these pikes, and they're gonna get killed. But I remember him now. I have 2 units, Spear Warband to his 1, so he's gonna take my Berserkers, but he's gonna be facing one from the front, and I'm gonna rush these guys in from behind, and then put them back into formation. And then he's just gonna get destroyed. And I'm using my cav to just
and an enemy beaten are always worth celebrating.
chase down his enemy troops, but he had made defeat, and it was a really good battle, really fun. We kind of each destroyed each other's flanks, and then yeah. So I deployed 1,099 men and had 1,223 kills, and had 592 men remaining. And then he deployed 1,625 men, had 585 kills and 395 men remaining. So good game to him. It was really fun. You know, we both played well. He had some pretty good strategy, and I honestly think 2 things contributed to me winning. One was just the overpoweredness of Berserkers, and the fact that I had more cav than he did, which means I could just kind of run down troops at will without really worrying about any repercussions from there. So, but good game to him, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, so I had to show you this part where I send in my Berserkers and how just they utterly destroy these Bastarnae. And Bastarnae are normally, you know, like amazing troops when it comes to hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that, just up close and personal. But these Berserkers just tear through them. I know I missed it in the main section, but I still want to show you guys this. It's just really cool. So I rushed both of my Berserker units forward, and then just as they get close, I make sure they get the bloodlust going. They charge in, get enraged, and then just watch. This immediately just destroy both of those units. So, and the problem was is they got caught up on here rather than like continuing to chase these guys down. But in just a matter of a moment, they just slaughtered, you know, 2 full units pretty much. And these guys got away with about half, luckily, but the other unit was basically just totaled. It was just a really cool moment. Anyways, thanks for watching.